Alright guys, I keep getting an overheat on this damn GoPro. It's pissing me off. It figures it gets cool and it starts overheating. Weird. So I'm going to go quick and fast. This is like the fourth time I've tried to do this. So assembly on this. It's nothing crazy, just super simple. Things to note, don't over tighten. I did that and I already put some pretty gnarly holes and it breaks the aluminum. So you just need it hand tight. So this is the cross, this is the center one that runs on the T, and I recommend if you're going to add the extensions is to stand it vertically. It makes it much easier to essentially have it flush and then tighten it. So you use the little Allen wrench, and just snug them down hand tight. Don't want to over tighten them and do like I did. So lesson learned. Good thing is these slides, you can move them to a new position. All right, hand tight. And I'm actually going to put the extension that doesn't come with the kit. So these two come with the kit. This is part of that extension set that I got. I actually needed the extension because the nose gear is longer than the standard kit comes with. So that's a reason why you would need this. Same thing, it's a little tall here. Put it in and then just tighten it up. Sorry, I know you guys probably can't see that because of the way I'm doing this, but it does just like the other one. And then you got this big long piece. So, and then you take the cross piece here, and there is a channel cut out with a big screw. Lay that in there, just like that. And let me grab this. And then you use the big Allen wrench to tighten this one. Again, don't overdo it. Hand tight, maybe a quarter of a turn or eighth of a turn, and then you put your little bubble level there. Fits perfect right there. And then that's your basic assembly of the beams. A note, you can move this leveling leg from here to the very tip and then or back down to here. So if you didn't need these pieces, you could put your little leveling foot here. And they just twist, and then once you have it level, you can twist the second nut and lock it. I don't even really need to lock it. I'm using my tables to do some leveling as well, which is kind of cool to have these adjustable tables. But that's it as it starts out. That's the first part. Second part is just your my whiskey here is putting the little puck sliders in. So you got one for each main. Nothing crazy. The part that's a little different is depending on what you're going to be using. If you're going to do the first setup where you're going to use the leading edge to find your CG, then you need to put your CG in first, followed by the leading edge piece, which is it's this little arm and nut. There's a channel in the back here, so you just kind of set the nut there. Oops, shoot, dropping stuff. Oh, anyways, it's a self-locking, so if you just hold the nut there, the little channel in the back keeps the nut from spinning itself, so you can literally tighten and loosen this thing as needed without having to have a second wrench. So when you're doing it like this, like I said, trying to do the leading edge with the CG, it goes on, and then your nose puck. If you wanted to use this to find the distance from your mains to your battery location, you would put it on last, which is that third measurement that I'll mention here in a minute. So get that in there, and then this, and that's it. That's what you need for your assembly. And with the CG machine, it's like with a CG machine, there's two measurements you need for it to actually compute and give you a valid CG. The third one is the measurement from the mains to that battery or that weight add / remove location that I mentioned. Not as critical. you can guesstimate, and you know it works just fine. You can be as accurate as you want, or as or if you don't even want to fool with it, you can still get a CG without that measurement, from my understanding. But you know, it's there. Might as well use it, especially if you have this, because it's super easy to get. So anyway, so then now that it's set up, just something of a note based off last video, I asked him about the end pieces. He decided not to use them because they were just cumbersome and really didn't do anything. And honestly, they would be in the way, and you have to take them, pull them off every time to get your stuff, you know, out when you're disassembling it. So he just didn't include that after the first couple. So not a big deal. So the first thing you need to do is get which is why he includes this, is to get the width between center of your two gear, your main gear, center point of left, center to center point of right. You take that measurement and subtract a 0 from it. Say it's 300 millimeters between this tire, the center of this tire to this tire. Just take a 0 off of that, and you've got 30. Move it there, and now that is your 300. So keep in mind, these measurements are minus a 0, plus these measurements are also incorporating that distance from the edge that you actually read to the center of this. So the actual number, the measurement you're going to be getting when you go to 30 or 300 millimeters between the two is from the center of this, not that point, which is why this is such a cool tool. You know, you're not having to kind of guess where the center of this puck is. You just, because it's centered on there for you, and these numbers already take into account that kind of parallax between there and there. So when you read this number, it's technically to that center point from my understanding. So once you get everything done, you put your pucks on here, and he also mentions going ahead and getting a measurement from mane to nose. Well, that's one of the measurements you need in here, and I'm using this to kind of get that measurement anyway. So I would set my model on there, holding the nose up, and then just slide this to where it needs to be. And okay, it sits there at 900 millimeters, which is 90, and now it's on there. Then you can take this guy, and a lot of manuals will specify, you know, so many inches or so many millimeters from the leading edge, and it's usually the leading edge root. It's where the wing plugs into the jet and they touch, which is the thickest part of the wing. So you would slide this down, say it's like right here. Let's go to 50, which would be 500 technically. And you get this where he needs it, and then you lock it down. So now it's touching your wing at the root. So here's your fuselage like this. And then it says, hey, it's 6 inches from that leading edge. Well, then you just take a ruler and you can measure 6 inches. And that is 35.2. Add a 0. So there's your measurement from here to here. So there's your second measurement, which is what you need. You need mane to nose wheel, mane to CG. So there's one method. Now say you just know, like my SU, it's 5 millimeters past the main spar. So what you need at that point, you can't use the leading edge. I mean, you could measure it off on the fuselage and then do this and slide it, you know, to where this lines up on it. Or you can just take, or another way of doing it is, I have a laser line, you know, I could do a laser. But then again, this is the easiest way to do it. Just slide this to where it lines up on that dot, center it on that CG point. So if this is your fuselage and say your spar is where my thumb is and it's 10 millimeters past that, then you just center it up on that and then you look down, and then bam, there's your number. So that number from there to essentially here is what you put into the CG machine. So fairly simple, nothing crazy to it. And then, like I said, if you want to put that third measurement in your CG machine here, like you've got main to front, which I put in for the Minion Jet, which was 1675, which is why I needed this extension. This only went to 1580. So I'd put that in there, and then mains to CG, which would be from here to here. Put that in, and then that third one that you can put in if you want, or you can guesstimate, is when you would need to take this piece and move it in front of your nose, where your nose wheel is, assuming you're going to be adding weight. Now, if you're going to be adding weight after your nose wheel, like somewhere in this section, then you could leave it like this and just slide this to where, okay, yeah, I'm looking at my fuselage here, and my battery's sitting right here. Okay, that's pretty good. And then there's you a number to put in there. Or you move it up here, which most people put batteries in the nose, or take a weight or add a weight from the nose. So you would just put this on last and then kind of slide it to where it lines up on that. I mean, you can push this right up to exactly against the fuselage and just look in and say, hey, my battery's sitting right there. Bam, there's your number. So, and that's it. Super easy. It's a great tool. It's a tool for your toolbox. You know, I know it's a lot of money. It's about $1,000 minus the extension kit, and that's usually the number one complaint. But I mean, I hate to say it. You know, sometimes, you know, something like this, in my opinion, with these big jets, will pay for itself. Because I've had 4 of these things, and I've sold them all because I don't use them. Because one, I got to get on the ground or get out tables and lay down and try to make measurements, and I'm always second guessing my measurements, you know, and this makes it super easy. It's fun. It makes me want to use the CG machine anyways. And you get some nice rulers that you can use for other applications. I have been already, because they're accurate, high quality stuff. So it's a cool set. And like I said, I know the money can be a lot, but you know, when you're big into it like I am, that's not a lot of money for a good tool that you're going to use and help you. You know, especially these bigger models. You know, I don't have somebody here helping me, so being able to do this stuff myself, I can set this on the ground, roll the model there, and just kind of lift up one side and kind of slide it up on it, and I'm CGing without having to get the wife or the kid or wait for them to get home. So I think it's a great investment. You know, keep in mind, it doesn't come with the CG machine. That's another cost. And then this piece here is, like, I believe it's for the tail dragger. So he talks about it in another video. You basically need an extension, because when you do a tail dragger, you would put the mains there and your tail will be back here. Well, the model technically needs to be level. So you make an extension for this, and it's like a pipe. I believe he uses like a PVC pipe, and then you put it up here like this, and then you got your pipe here coming up, and then you put your puck up here. And now your tail wheel's sitting here and your mains are sitting there. So cool stuff. And it works the same way for tri-gear versus you know, tail dragger versus mains. You just need to select that in the actual CG machine. So all right, so before this thing overheats and shut down, I'm going to call it on this one. Again, if you need one or interested, they have 3 colors: silver, blue, and red. Michael hope I don't say his last name right. Matson is the guy you need to talk to. His email is michael@rccgmachine.com. www.rccgmachine.com is the website. and he's very responsive if you have questions. I asked him about those end pieces last night, and he responded within no time. Good dude. I talked to him at Kentucky, and he knows the cost is there, but material cost and what you're getting, and for him to make money, I get it. We're not always in it to make money, just like my side business. I'm not trying to get rich, but it needs to be worth your time. And he has come down quite a bit from what his original pricing was. But like I said, it's a tool, and it if you're doing larger, heavier stuff, it's going to pay for itself. And I highly recommend it. I'm not getting paid for any of this. I bought this for myself. He had a demo model that he was selling at Kentucky, and I bought it at the end of the show, and I totally don't regret it, because I'm looking forward to using it on. I've got a CG, the F22, which is a pig. It's heavy. I got a CG and do the F15. I got a CG and do the SU 27, and anything from here on out will be done this way. So, thumbs up. Hope you guys enjoy the video. If you have questions, comments, post them in the comment section. I'll answer them the best I can. But it's really straightforward, and he gives you a step-by-step walkthrough on what to do. He also has videos on his website, and I will do a video. I don't know if I'll do it with the SU just because it's so big, but I might throw the F15 on, because he actually has a similar size jet that he does it with. I might throw the F15 on there and just kind of do a quick video showing you how you would do the CG at that point. So you guys have a good one. Saturday night, I'm going to go drink some whiskey or more whiskey and go shoot people in the face playing some nerding it up on the computer. Give my back a break from standing and doing yard work all day. So you guys have a good one. Again, thanks for watching. I know this is kind of boring stuff, and I try to do stuff that I think is good for the hobby. Just like my business, I sell stuff that's proven and good quality stuff, and it's good for the hobby. And I think this is kind of one of those products. So cheers.